How come a lot of your guys leave for an extended amount of time and have Tommy John, or they're just out for a long time because of arm issues? Are you doing something differently from the rest of baseball? Is this a problem, or is it just bad luck?
Anticipating big seasons out of both Spencer Arrighetti and Hayden Wesneski.
Yeah.
Arrighetti can still fulfill that as he is slowly coming back from his injury. He is not obviously going to be out for the season, but Hayden Wesneski is likely to be out for the season. We'll find out more as we go along. But
yeah, that's too bad. I miss him.
So Todd Callis dropped that info, and people are like, whoa, and we discussed it earlier, and Todd Callis is right. Hayden Wesneski, part of the trade that brought in, or at least sent out, Kyle Tucker, but brought in a Paredes with the game-winning home run last night, and Cam Smith. He is done for the year. He's going to have Tommy John surgery. So that's another Astro pitcher, and particularly starting pitcher who is out for the year. And I say year, being conservative, because we know how these things go. Now, I was trying to look up his arm injury history before I decided to just put blame on the Astros. He did have a forearm strain last year that kept him out for a bit, not for a long time with the Cubs. He did come back. He was available. They put him on the 15-day IL. It took a little longer, but he was back, so it wasn't a season ender for him. This one is, and maybe longer than that. So we've got more than a full rotation of guys who were at one point supposed to be starting pitchers for the Astros who are no longer available. We went through this morning partly to see if this was unique to them or other teams have had it. We know across baseball arm injuries are picked up, but it very much seems like the Astros are at the forefront. They're trailblazers when it comes to multiple starters and beyond picking up these arm injuries. So it's just another one. It's almost just to be expected. Is it the fact that they are leading when it comes to how baseball wants their pitchers to pitch? They are just at the top of that where it comes to throwing as hard as you can for as long as you can, and then your arm be damned afterwards. I don't want to throw that completely on them, but do we need an investigation? Who would do it? Who would look into the Astros and why they have so many arm issues? Has the question even been asked? I have not heard an answer in that vein. Like someone posed a question to them: how come not all your guys, how come a lot of your guys leave for an extended amount of time and have Tommy John, or they're just out for a long time because of arm issues? Are you doing something differently from the rest of baseball? Is this a problem, or is it just bad luck? It's little nuts, man. And Wesneski wasn't even in the organization for very long before he caught it. So just add him to the Javier, the what Verlander had to deal with. Urquidy's was out for a long time before he was no longer part of the organization. Of course, McCullers, who was okay over the weekend, certainly bounced back from his performance that led to I don't even want to say led to it, because there's nothing that can excuse what he had to go through, but the performance that came before the death threats that he received and his family received. So very many arm injuries. And we're just going to leave it at that, because after that, it just becomes reckless speculation.
Okay. So we're not,
I don't want to blame anyone like the Butcher of Bel Air.
I was going to say the system that he
that he left,
that he built.
Yeah. Much like Beltran was someone who brought a system over that led to an embarrassing moment in the franchise's history. Some people may say, you also won a title because of it, if you believe that. But this Strom thing, joking aside, the Butcher of Bel Air thing is just my way of trying to make light of what's going on. But what's the deal, man? Over and over again. And the recoveries take forever. Guys miss multiple seasons. We're still waiting on Javier and Garcia. And JP France didn't have Tommy John. He had a shoulder issue that they unfortunately rushed him back early from. And now he's dealing with the consequences of that. It's just been a weird thing where it feels like, and look, a lot of it has to do with us just focusing on the Astros. It feels like they have had an inordinate amount of these, and it has affected important pitchers consistently. And now we're at it again. And Wesneski's was a guy who was, if you want to call him that, this the throw-in in the Tucker trade, but he was also someone that was going to be depended on because of the previous arm injuries that they've had to deal with, and now he just is another on the list. So, good luck to Hayden Wesneski. He was asked about it. He said it hadn't really sunk in yet. He said it probably would eventually, and you get that, guys. Happy to be here. Happy to be back in the area, and had a chance to be part of a starting rotation for a team who had goals of winning the division, and now he's got a bit of an uncertain future. Julian, you want to talk about Astros arm injuries? Cool, because you already used up your Brock Purdy call on the previous show. So, and there's not a lot to say other than congratulations for paying that bus rider all that money.
Didn't he have an arm injury too?
Yes, he did. But we saw that happen against Philly in that title game. He came back, and they went to the Super Bowl. They had a bad year last year, and the 49ers have rewarded him with big money. Do we think that Brock Purdy is a product of his environment? Sounds like we're talking about an at-risk youth. Brock Purdy, a product of his environment, or is he or is he someone that changes the environment because of his mere presence?